So it's been a minute since I've come on here and done something that's not like a vlog or a deep dive episode, and that's mainly because I haven't had really much else to say. But today I feel like I need to do a bit of an update because quite frankly, I have too much to talk about for it to just be like a TikTok or something, so here we are. This is basically just going to be a massive update video of things going along with my books, a couple of YouTube things that I'm doing. This is going to be a lot of information. Hopefully some of it's exciting, I don't know, but we'll see. First of all, I've actually started a magazine. It's called Enchanted Lit. This is completely separate to my books, but you know, I thought I'd plug it here while I have the chance. Which Enchanted is not going to be a literary submission magazine like most bookish magazines are. We are going to accept a few literary submissions. We've got some really cool ones for our first issue coming up, but it's kind of, the way I've been describing it is like a Vogue style magazine for books. So for example, we are going to have quizzes, recommendations. We've got an interview with the amazing author Gabriella Buba coming up in the next issue, who is insane. She's such a good writer. But we're also going to be doing like writing tips, writers' resources, all that good stuff. I'll put like a list of things that you can expect from it. If any of you are interested, I'll plug all of Enchanted socials here. Our first issue is coming out on July 27th. I am extremely excited. I've been working on this for over a month and a half now, and we've got the beginnings of a team together. I'm so excited for it, it's insane. Another thing is, I've had a bit of a shift with the distribution of my books recently. I say recently, it was about 2 months ago, but I haven't really announced it on YouTube, so here I am. You may have noticed that my books are slowly being taken off of Kindle Unlimited. That's because I am taking a step away from KDP and Amazon. They'll still be available on Amazon. But I'm also going to be publishing for myself. Right now it's on my Kofi, however you want to pronounce it, until I figure out a better platform to sell through. At the moment you can get pretty much any of my ebooks for a pay what you can, basically. I am slowly introducing paperbacks, which will be signed copies, at the moment only available in the UK though, because if anyone's familiar with shipping or owns a small business, you will know that it is incredibly difficult to ship to A, America, and B, the rest of Europe right now. I'm working on it, but for now all I can do is ship within the UK, which is where I live. Speaking of Kofi, which I am right, someone's corrected me and said it's pronounced coffee. I am going to continue pronouncing it Kofi because I feel like it saves confusion. People know that if I say Kofi, I'm not talking about, you know, literal iced coffee or something like that. On my Kofi, I am going to I've already started, releasing short stories that are going to be completely free to read, completely free to download, for the series The Jane Doe Diaries, which you may have heard of a couple of times if you've seen my shorts or my TikToks, and Chronicles of the Isles, which a couple of people might be confused about when I say Chronicles of the Isles, which we will get to later in the video. Basically, all you need to know about that is at the last day of each month, there is going to be a new short story uploaded to my Ko-fi that's going to be completely free to read, and I'm going to be alternating series. So we've just had the first story within the Jane Doe Diaries come out. If you don't know what the Jane Doe Diaries is, it's a set of stories following a time traveller who has been going for so long she has forgotten who she is. And so she is trying to look through time to find out her own name, because in the meantime she just goes by Jane Doe. The other series is called Chronicles of the Isle, which if you're a fan of D&D, you'll probably enjoy this because it was based off an RPG that I wrote for my friends a couple of years ago, and it's basically following a group of pirates as they have to collect artifacts to stop the return of a cursed god, putting it very simply. So in the last day of July, the first story for Chronicles of the Isles will be releasing, which is Ship's Graveyard, and then the end of next month will be the second story for the Jane Doe Diaries, and so on and so on. However, speaking of Chronicles of the Isle, you may recognise what I have just described to you if you've been following me for a long time, and that is because Chronicles of the Isle was actually a novel that I had published for a couple of years now, In fact, it was a series. I had 3 books out, and as of last week, I have taken those books off pretty much any platform I sell through, and there is a reason, I promise. Basically, the main reason why I took it down is that I started writing Chronicles of the Isle when I was very young. I was about 14, 15 years old, and then I published the first book when I was 17, and the other 2 when I was 18. I say that like that was so long ago. I am about to turn 20 now. However, I did little to no research before becoming an author, which I wouldn't recommend. If you're watching this and you're unpublished and you're wanting to become an author, please do your research, because it's still somehow coming back to bite me 2 to 3 years later. And while I have always been incredibly proud of the story in the Isle series, and I still am, I very much have a soft spot for it, and obviously so did my friends, because it was based off a RPG campaign I wrote for them. The execution I have never really been happy with, even the formatting of the book, because again, I didn't know how to publish. The other problem was that the story of the Isles never really suited a novel format. Because it was based off an RPG, we had always treated it as a TV show. So each story was in a completely different location. They had a self-contained narrative, even though there was a big overarching story going on. And so the best way that I could think of to combat it when turning it into a book was to basically make each book a collection of short stories and hope that people pick up the running narrative that's going on between all of them. So I figured probably the best way actually is just to let it be what it is, which is a series of short stories. And obviously, if you watch the rest of this video, you already know I am slowly going through the process of re-editing Chronicles, just giving it a bit of a facelift in a way, and then slowly releasing them as short stories, which will be completely free to read. And if you already own a copy of Chronicles, obviously you have that as a bonus copy. The other thing as well is, because there's something else that I want to do with Chronicles, but I can't guarantee whether or not this is going to be a thing, because it's going to rely on a bunch of stuff and it's very early in development. But I will tentatively announce it now, in the fact that I want to turn Chronicles into somewhat of a visual novel series, if that makes sense. What exactly that will look like, I can't guarantee just yet. It could be anywhere between getting someone to narrate the stories in Chronicles and then have that set to a semi-animated visualization. And I say semi-animated, don't expect frame by frames, animating on 1s or 2s, but like, you know, illustrations. Or it could be that, or actually producing an animated series based off Chronicles, which is probably the more unlikely one, because that is a lot. If anyone is any familiar with animation, it's going to take a very long time to do it if that is the case. But it isn't completely ruled out, and I'm going to say this now, when I say that, do not expect the quality of like Nickelodeon or anything like that. I am no professional animator. I've dabbled. I have some friends in animation school who are going to help me here and there. I think the quality that I'm aiming for is kind of picture like animatics. But obviously not set to music. Like I said, this is all like a maybe. I'm hoping, I'm working on it. No promises. If anyone is interested in that though, I'm probably going to be posting updates on my Kofi. I might start a Discord server, honestly, about it, all depending, but you know, would love to see whether or not people are actually interested in this, because obviously it's going to be a big task. Anyway, I think that is all. Basic recap, I'm starting a magazine. I have moved pretty much anything I'm selling on the Kofi, including signed copies that are only available in the UK for now. Chronicles of the Isle is officially unpublished, but will be coming out slowly, and I'm working on an animated series. It's a lot. You wouldn't think that I'm a uni student on top of this. I'm aware I'm a workaholic, but you know, we love to see it. Anyway, this is a very quick video. I have something else coming out this month. Don't worry. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. you.